Recently, Steam has announced that they are implementing a new refund system that allows any individual to request a refund within 16 days of the purchase of a game or DLC, provided that they have not exceeded 2 hours of playtime. This also applies to new releases where a refund can be requested within 14 days of the release date. This begs the following question: is this a good or a bad thing for all the parties involved? For games that don't offer a demo version of their game to be played before purchasing, this offers a 2-hour opportunity to try out the game before you commit your hard-earned money to keeping the game forever. This bodes well for people who decide that the game really isn't up their alley, but still want to give the game a try. Early release games are suddenly put to an instant test, as the buggy nature of some of those games in an early release state can render these games unplayable. This results in a quick and painless return process. This doesn't necessarily mean that they have given up on the game entirely. It just means that it is too flawed in its current state to warrant an investment. For long-standing games that are currently considered fully released, it allows gamers to decide whether or not the game is for them. A 2-hour period is enough to decide with most games if you want to keep it or not, resulting in consumers avoiding the collection elements of gathering up a huge chunk of games in their library and allowing them to collect dust in their Steam library. This is a bonus for those who have somewhat limited funds, as they don't have to commit what little money they have to spend on the game that turns out to be something they don't really like in the first place. Simply put, if a game is a crap sandwich, the consumer is finally given a chance to vote with their wallets. You can say, "Fuck you, I'd rather my $15 sit in refund limbo rather than give you an opportunity to feed your wife and kids with it." This brings up the second side of our problem, the developer side. While it is true there are a number of different developers out in the world that create games quickly and in fast succession with little or no effort, there are a number of different game developers who create games that have a short but rewarding experience. We will take Mount Your Friends as an example of this. A short and somewhat simple game that has a lot of dangly things, but still a fun game to enjoy with your friends. Really though, the game can be experienced in a single sitting and enjoyed under 2 hours easily, resulting in a high potential for refunds. This causes a high potential for people who want to browse Steam titles and simply play around and borrow games, meaning that a lot of video game developers are suddenly put on notice that the high sales for their incredibly short game can suddenly come tumbling back to them in the form of a high number of refunds to follow. Combined with the fact that there is no communication between developer and consumer in the process of this, and we suddenly have a problem. For the meantime, however, there is no buyer beware on Steam, provided that you aren't going out and buying a crapload of games only to request refunds on a ton of them afterwards. All in all, with these things considered, now is a good time to be a major consumer on Steam. Valve wants to remind us that they still hold a high concern on consumer satisfaction, and that is a good thing in my book. That being considered, offering a demo of your game in advance would cause a lot of these developer issues to be solved, in my opinion. Perhaps Steam should offer a service where you can download any game in their collection and play it for half an hour before it was locked, similar to the way they do this on the Xbox Live Indie Arcade. Now I'm going to direct this question to you guys at home. What do you think about the new Steam refund system? Most of you guys are probably consumers, so it's probably not that bad for you, but let me know in the comments if there's a point you want to make, or there's a point that I missed entirely. I'm trying out a number of new things on this channel, and trying to expand my horizons a bit to find out what I really like. But I'm going to keep the general theme to be video games because I like video games. Again, just let me know in the comments section. Also, if you want to keep an update on live streams or anything we got going on around here, you can follow me on Twitter at SupersmithEli, or head over to our Facebook, facebook.com/SupersmithBrothers. Thank you for watching.